agree, because we're not just saying what we think's going to happen. We're saying if you were to dream as big as possible for the Broncos this upcoming season, how far could they make it? The AFC title game, the Super Bowl, and Stoke, you had a different take. You don't think the dream season can go to either one of those.
Right. I can't go there. I think for me, a dream season would be you build off of last year, you take another step forward, and you win a playoff game this year. That would be unbelievable for me where I'm sitting. Because, look, I played in the NFL for 15 years. I know how hard it is. I played with Peyton Manning for 5 years. It's hard in the NFL to win playoff games, to get to the playoffs. Just because you won 10 games last year and you got in the playoffs, guess what? That doesn't mean that the following year you're going to win 11 or 12 games and you're going to win playoff games. It just doesn't work that way. Look at Buffalo. Look at Baltimore these last few years. They've had really good teams. They haven't even sniffed the Super Bowl. I mean, neither one of them. I mean, they sniffed it, but they haven't been. So it just goes to show you need a little luck. Obviously, you got to get the right bounces and injuries and things like that. So it's just really difficult to do. And I think some people look at it and say, well, hey, you know what? This is going to be Sean and Bo year 2. Broncos should be better. They should take a step forward. And I agree, they should be a better team. They should take a step forward. But that doesn't mean that that's going to result in, we're in the Super Bowl or we're in the AFC Championship game.
But the point of the exercise is if everything goes perfectly right, and we are dreaming big, and if I told you, hey, Stoke, come next February, you're going to be on a plane to Santa Clara because you're going out there to do your show in the morning from Radio Row before whatever Super Bowl this is, 60, because the Broncos are playing in it. Would you tell me I'm crazy? Or if everything breaks correctly, could you see that happening? Could you live in a universe where 10 months from now, you're on a plane out to San Fran because the Denver Broncos are playing in the Super Bowl?
Is that where it is again?
Yeah. Isn't that fitting?
Oh, wow.
50 was
we
there.
We just talked about 50.
Back there for 60.
Oh, now my dreams are changing, Will. Keep talking.
Okay, so what I'm saying is we're not predicting Super Bowl, guys. So don't get that confused. But we are saying if everything breaks perfectly right, we have seen quarterbacks in year 2 take their teams to Super Bowls. We have seen Sean Payton lead a team to a Super Bowl. I think a dream season for the Broncos does mean they skip steps, because sometimes in sports you can skip steps. It's rare, but you can. They win the AFC West with a 12-5, 13-4 record. The Chiefs fall back to 11-6, 12-5. The football karma kind of equals out. They don't escape all these Houdiniacs. And the Denver Broncos host a couple home playoff games, and next thing you know, you're on a bird out west. That to me is if we're dreaming big in the realm of possibility. Again, not a prediction, but also not outlandishly crazy.
See, I do think it's a little crazy. I do. I got it, just because it's so hard to do, and how bad it's been post-Super Bowl to think that all of a sudden, man, everything is going to go so right that in Sean Payton's 3rd year, Bo Nix's 2nd year, it's Super Bowl. I have a hard time going there. I do. I just do. And I know you laid it out nicely. And you could sit there every year and just pretty much pick apart or look at certain things most of the time if you're a decent team, and be so positive that your dreams, if everything goes right in a perfect scenario, that you end up in a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I just can't. I just can't.
All right.
But look, you laid it out nicely. I like it. You mentioned Washington this year, and the run that they went on was great. But I would also say same thing for like a team like Washington, who all of a sudden they think, okay, our quarterback's going in the 2nd year. Dan Quinn, 2nd year as coach. We got to the NFC Championship game this year?
Correct.
Well, Super Bowl's next. We'll see. We'll see.
All right, well then maybe we can get Chiefs-Eagles for the 3rd time in 4 years, and everyone can just be bored again. Like, is that what the NFL really wants? Hey, fire it up. Mahomes is in his 4th straight Super Bowl. Here come the Eagles and Jalen Hurts again. No,
what about Baltimore?
I want
about
Broncos
Buffalo?
Commanders.
You just don't think that, I mean, the AFC is tough.
Well, the Bills are cursed. Lamar always chokes in the playoffs. Since he's going to lose every game like 54-52, the Chiefs are going to come back down to earth. There's a scenario. That's all I'm saying. There's a scenario.
The Texans like taking another step forward. They kind of took a step back, but can they?
They play in the AFC South. I just can't take them seriously.
Well, I mean, but
they'll win 10 games. They'll win the division. Congratulations.
They'll be in the playoffs. They're going to win their division.
Don't you think if it's Broncos-Texans in a divisional game? Like, say that scenario breaks right. Broncos-Texans divisional game in Power Field at Mile High. They had already won one playoff game in the wild card weekend, but Stoke he said that's the ceiling. So you got C.J. Stroud and the Texans coming in pulling the upset.
So we got we got a home field in the second round of the playoffs. Is that what you said?
And if you're the 2 and you're playing the 3, that's home field.
That would be great. That'd be great. I hope that works out that way. Heard that. I hope it kind of unfolds like that for the Broncos. That would be great.
Real quick, this was a topic that we haven't gotten to yet. Surprise cuts. You got anyone on your mind? I got a name for you, Stoke.
All right, give it to me.
I think Alex Singleton could be in some trouble. And I'm not rooting against him, don't get me wrong, but you signed Dre Greenlaw in free agency. If they take an inside linebacker in the first 3 rounds, if I'm Alex Singleton, I'm getting a little bit nervous because it does feel like these guys who come off these injuries, they're always candidates to be the surprise cut. And I think after the draft, there are 3 or 4 or 5 guys on this Broncos roster who are going to get nervous. Heck, Stoke, if they take 2 wide receivers, and I'm Troy Franklin, I'm nervous. They take 2 running backs, I'm Audric Estime, I'm nervous. Those are just 3 names I'll sort of float to you early here in terms of guys that are going to be watching the draft very closely, hoping they're not taking their position.
That's a good point. And so we're talking about after the draft. As a player, you're watching the draft praying that they don't draft guys at your position. I was a bottom tier type of wide receiver in the NFL, so every year, especially early in my career when I'm with the Ravens, I'm like, please don't draft a receiver in the first round. Please don't draft a receiver. Oh, damn it. They drafted Travis Taylor. That's not good for me, right? And so that's what you're doing as a player. And then what happens after the draft? Well, all of a sudden you got, I don't know, let's say you got 6 draft picks, okay? 7 draft picks, whatever the case may be. Plus you got, I don't know, how many free agents do they bring in? 10, 15, 20? I don't know. I mean, undrafted free agents?
Yep.
So you're talking about 17 or 20 new guys that are coming into the building right away. Guys got to get cut, right? Because all of a sudden, the coaches need to evaluate those guys. If the whole team's still on the roster that was here beforehand, well, they're not going to be able to evaluate the other guys. Who's not getting the reps? Who's taking the reps? So it's it becomes one of those things where, all right, out with the old, in with the new. And so some of these guys, to your point, Alex Singleton, certainly, he could be a candidate for it if they draft another inside linebacker. I look at one here because this is a position that we know they're going to draft. Running back, Jaleel McLaughlin.
More so than Audric Estime, which was a name I threw out there.
Well, you asked about surprise.
No, I know, I get it.
Right, and Estime is certainly one of them.
Yeah.
But, they just drafted him last year, right? We haven't seen a lot of him. We did see him against the Chiefs closing out the Chiefs game in Kansas City where he looked great before we got the field goal blocked. He looked great in that game. So I think there's still an unknown factor with Estime to where that might surprise me more than McLaughlin, even though McLaughlin has done more. But he's gotten more opportunities. He's kind of hit the ceiling. You're like, okay, I got it. That's nice. But is it kind of time to turn the page? And we got 2 new fresh running backs coming in. We still don't quite know who Estime is going to be. We don't want to give up on him too soon.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's why I said, to your point, I would be surprised if Estime got cut, and I would be really surprised if McLaughlin got cut.
Yeah. The only thing with Estime is, remember, he didn't get a jersey in the playoff game. That's never a very good sign. When 90 minutes before that Bills game, we see the inactives, and we're like, whoa, they're going with Tyler Bidet, who hadn't done anything since, Tampa, week 3? I I mean, he had that scary injury against the Jets, and we're all glad he was okay. But he hadn't played for the Broncos in 3 months, and all of a sudden Sean goes, yeah, I'm going to give Bidet a jersey over Estime. That was kind of a writing on the wall type thing for me. You're right. He had moments against the Chiefs, against the Chargers, but probably a bad sign if you're inactive in a playoff game.
Yeah, he's a rookie. So it's not a good sign, I can tell you that. Be a better sign for him if he did get a jersey. Yeah. Look, it certainly can happen because the running back room was so bad that, I mean, we probably shouldn't be surprised if any of those guys get cut, honestly. You clear out the whole room.
Just wipe it out.
And I'd be like, all right, let's go. I mean, there's not anybody that we're going to sit back here in 3 years. I don't think anybody in that room that we're going to sit back in 3 years and say, oh, my gosh, I can't believe that, we cut Tyler Bidet in 2025 right after the draft. Wow, what a bad mistake that was by Sean and George, right? I mean, Jaleel McLaughlin, oh, my gosh, he turned out to be this all-pro running back. We like him. He's a good player, nice player, fine player. But he hasn't done enough here to I think, for anyone, for the Broncos or any other team to pick him up and all of a sudden we regret releasing him.
Yeah, he's some superstar. By the way, Alex Singleton owed $7 million next year.
Any of it guaranteed? Sorry.
Well, the dead cap's only 1.3.
There you go. You follow the money in these things with veteran players, especially coming off of an injury. So maybe not cut, maybe pay cut. Right? I mean, so if it doesn't get cut, you might cut the salary.
You might need to take a haircut coming off the ACL last year down there in
Do we have
Tampa
any
Bay.
guaranteed money on that contract? Do you know? Can you see that? Is there any guarantees that are left on it? Because that will also kind of, help us out when you look at the money in the contract.
No, he's already gotten his $9 million guaranteed.
So, yeah, no, high candidate that all of a sudden at some point, if he's not released, it's one of those situations to where, hey, we need to take a pay cut.
The 8288 on the RamosLaw.com text line is on your side, my friends. Stoke is not crazy. The dream season is we beat the Chiefs twice. Anything else in the playoffs is a plus. You agree with that? They're like, hey, overtake the Chiefs. They've won 9 straight AFC West titles. But the texter is saying you're not crazy. That, come on, guys, let's not talk Super Bowl. Let's just talk about maybe overtaking the Chiefs, and then we'll get our gravy in the playoffs with what happens there.
Yeah, how great would that be? You knock the Chiefs off the AFC West throne. I want to kick their ass. That would be great. I mean, that would be a dream season for me. And your dream's a little bit different. You think it could be a little bit bigger than that, which is fine. But I certainly would think that would be a dream season if they could actually knock the Chiefs off. You go in the playoffs and you win a playoff game. Awesome. Another step forward.
The 9388 says, now give me the nightmare scenario, guys.
Oh.
It's a Friday, man.
Oh.
We're in a good mood.
Yeah.
You really want the other side of it? I mean, I'll tell you.
Put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby.
Bo Nix has a sophomore slump. Vance Joseph's defense plays like they played in December. Broncos
Don't you put that on us.
go 7-10. I mean, that's kind of the nightmares. You flip that record, you take a big step back. Bo pulls a CJ Stroud. VJ gets fired because his defense isn't any good anymore. They don't stay healthy, and they win 6 or 7 games.
5 games. That's, yeah. And you really take a huge step back, and Bo regresses. There you go. Injuries happen, and it's a complete disaster. That is nightmare scenario.
I'd rather talk about Super Bowl 60 in Santa Clara.
Right.
That's a little more fun.
Yeah, like you said on a Friday. Maybe on a Monday we can talk about
Nightmares.
Not on Friday. Friday are dreams.
By the way, speaking of dreams and nightmares, was it you guys or was it Cecil and Josh that played that Gruden clip of the Hard Knocks thing with the intro where he's the Raiders coach? He's like, I'm not into dreams anymore, boys. I'm into bleeping nightmares.
Yeah, I think we played it.
Oh, it gives you chills every time.
Yeah. Pretty good.
Brandon Stokley.
There we go. Thank you, John.
I saw he gave you a shout out the other day.
He did. We sent him a package from the Raging Cajuns, and he opened it up, and he was mentioning some of the, not a ton of players come from there and played in the NFL, but a few of us have. So he mentioned us.
And last one here from the 2898. Somehow we had the best run blocking O-line, and our run game stinks. Make that make sense. I don't know. You played in the NFL. I can't make it make sense. What do you see from an X's and O's standpoint? Why is that?
Well, our running backs weren't very good.
That simple.
Yeah.
I think he's a bum.
I don't know. I think we could be better at run blocking, but I don't know the analytics and the stats. I mean, I think we're better pass blocking team maybe than run blocking team, but I think our running back room wasn't very good overall. Right? Need some new guys in there. Obviously, you got to change up a few things, and it starts with those guys. Our offensive line's all coming back.
Right.
Not changing those guys up. So I think, and we talked with Stink about this at the end of the year. He broke down the Bills game, and it was they blocked terrible in that game. Blocked terrible. But the running back room, it needs to be better. Got to be better. And I mean, they're going to